Hello again, book lovers, and it's the turn of The Cocaine Diaries, which was written, it says, by Paul Keany with Jeff Farrell. Well, Paul Keany committed the unfortunate error of trying to smuggle cocaine out of Venezuela through the airport, and that's what this book's about, the appalling conditions that he met with in Los Teques prison in Venezuela. Well, first he gets raped by the police. That's not a good start. He's chained to a stairway for 5 days without any food. And when he finally gets to the prison, he finds out it's run by the inmates, basically. They're sort of gang warlords. They're all tooled up to the back teeth. It's an interesting story. You know he gets out in the end because that's where he's telling it from. But it's standard prison porn. I think there are two kinds of escapist literature. One is the people who read about the rich and the wealthy to see how fantastic their lives are and maybe imagine themselves being there. Something like The Great Gatsby or Bridgerton, and the ones with posh settings. And then there's the other sort of horrific stories of real life experiences where you read them and think, thank heavens that's not me. It delivers what it promises, what used to be called a pot boiler. There's plenty of nastiness threaded through this. It's not well written, I have to say. Very clunky metaphors, but it's quite well paced, and bits of it are in fact very gripping. It reminded me of a book that it was written, I think, by John Peters, one of the first pilots to be shot down over the Gulf. In that war, his terrible treatment there. Some might say, well, what did you expect? One that I read, and I really can't remember, sorry author, who wrote this, about trying to do the same thing in United Arab Emirates and getting played for fools on a drug run, suffering all kinds of mistreatment. This was literally an airport book. I got it on a 2-for-1 offer. I thought this will be an easy read, which it is. As you can see, I like this kind of personal, my living hell kind of prison literature. And of course, there are classics of the genre, which any reader who's read them would recommend. The Long Walk to Freedom by Mandela. All the stuff that Solzhenitsyn wrote about the Gulag Archipelago. Almost every one of those books I would put in my top 100. And perhaps best of all, an incredible story of survival of brutality, this time on a French colonial island. And the film's almost as good. If you haven't guessed, it's Papillon by Henri Charrière. The Cocaine Diaries isn't that good, but as I said earlier, there are parts where it definitely will have you turning the pages.